Trying to make sure there's fucking, and it may be up too loud, but this damn microphone. Trying to make sure there's fucking, and it may be up too loud, but that fucking hear my AC background. That fucking hear my AC background. See if this helps. See if this helps. I think we'll be good to go. See if this helps. I think we'll be good to go. Alright, so I'm actually going to switch over to this other one. Alright, let's see. There it is. Now you guys are both in this one, right? You'll need to create a Twitch account to go into the chat to talk to me. So you'll need. All right, so. Odds. Decent to have. See, I just don't like this card in the off lane, man. I mean, it seems to make sense, but it's... Instead of having to go back, I like to be able to go back up under my tower and get health. And with that card, you just take less damage, but it's only a 20% chance. So if they hit you, if they're shooting 10 times at you, then you have, you may take half of 2 of those, so you only have 9 hits. So versus you can take full damage and then just go back up under your tower and fully heal immediately. I mean, that's the better way to go. Let them hit you. Be bait right here, but you're way too far up right here. Way too far. Okay. What you want to do here... Pause. Okay, you're behind the tower, right? They're inside the tower range. So what you want to do is play with this tower. Basically stay behind it. Make them start shooting at you. And once they hit one hit on you, the tower is going to target them until they leave the zone. Your health isn't high enough to be pushing out like you do in just a second. You want to stay behind your minions. Because as soon as they draw damage to you under a tower, whether it's ability damage or left click, it's lagging. I'll try and fix it in a minute, man. I think it's something to do with my internet connection, but basically from here, man, you want to stay behind this tower and try to draw one hit off of them. You can get a little close to the steel, but don't hit him. As soon as you hit him, all of these minions are going to start attacking you. If he hits you, all of your minions are going to attack him, including the tower. So if you play the tower game and just stay on this side of it, he's going to take so much damage, he's not going to know what to fucking do. Hold on a second. I wonder, that should be better. That should be better. Can you hear me? I have a noise gate on it. I'm trying to block out the background noise. You should be able to hear me now, though. But, let's see. So yeah, right here, when you go up, you're taking all these hits. You took all of that from those minions right there, and now they're able to attack you. He has the aggro from the tower, so the carry has free range on to shoot you. If you would have stayed on this side, you'd have been perfectly fine. In fact, he probably would have shot you one time, and then the tower would have immediately drawn aggro on him. Your minions would have gone out too, and then their minions would have came in and tried to attack them, thus pushing the lane backwards this way. So when this next wave comes through, your wave is actually going to be stopped about right here or just in front of the tower, which is where you want it in the off lane, so that you can stay in your tower and get last hits out here. But you're level 1 right here, so I mean, it's really iffy to say when you don't have any abilities at all, but yeah, we're gonna move on from here. And it happens, man. Offlane 2v1 is difficult, especially as a melee. See, you're doing good. You're doing well here, and I'm assuming that you didn't get your green buff yet. And you see that over there. You saw... Okay, you saw the health on the steel. So when you finish with mid, you should have shot through and actually came up by this tower by their gold buff. Not to mention, by the time you got over there and killed the steel, it would have been about 20 seconds. So that puts you at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So what you could have done is, instead of having to come back and clear these jungle, you may have gotten a kill, but you definitely could have waited out on their gold buff over here and taken their gold buff, and by that time the Murdoch may have been coming back through. You may have got a kill on the Murdoch too. These are things to be thinking about. You're the jungler and he's by himself. It's not always as important to take the jungle camps as it is, like, especially after you've already taken them. You're level 2. You should be moving after. You should have gotten this one, but you did get a good gank on the mid. You should have been moving immediately to the left and helping him out, especially since he died already. Because what's happening right now is this tower is taking unnecessary damage when you could have been up here. As soon as they have a ward here, so as soon as they saw you moving, Murdoch was gonna back. Without a doubt was gonna back. And the steel at the time is now backing. Like if I click on him, see he's already backed. You see his health? Let's take a look here. This is where Kev dies. Okay. A lot of damage here. Now watch. He's back in here. Okay, never mind. He didn't go all the way back. I didn't see him on the map, so there wasn't too much you could do. But he's gone. You got the gank on this. As soon as this is over, boom, right now, you should be moving left. If you were to move left, it takes 10 seconds to get here, okay? Roughly, give or take 10 seconds if you use your jump or not. Within 10 seconds, he's got, I want to say about anywhere from 10 to 12, maybe 13 last hits on this tower, not to mention he's getting experience from the minions. Just making a presence over here, anywhere over here, will cause him to back. And what's going to happen is these minions are going to die off from the tower damage, and it's not going to take so much. The only damage he's going to take is from the siege minion because he actually aggroes the tower. The rest of these are going to attack the other minions. It's just something to think about, especially when you're playing the jungle. There's a gray area with some that's like, yeah, I want to move over here and I want to help my carry and my support and I want to help the mid, but people don't realize like this is really important too. Like if your carry can take the tier 1 and you still have a tier 1 up when they can rotate over here, that's very important. It's highly important.
An enemy has been slain.
That was a good gank on him though. See, you should be moving straight over to the right there. Also, don't be afraid to use your stealth to de-ward these. Wards are really expensive now. They're not, you know, a 3-cost card that you can put shit into. You want to be moving straight over and de-warding this area because that allows for Gideon to push his lane and then go gank them too. So it's a shift thing when you shift to the left lane. Gideon shifts left, you go mid. If you finish your jungle, then you go left. And Gideon can push his lane up here. Just always be looking at your map, especially in the jungle, because you don't have to pay attention. And nobody is getting river buffs. You're a jungler, it's your job to get the right river buff, because that's where he goes. That's where the mid goes. Your mid will go left to get the left river buff. So you need to be taking advantage of always getting the right river buff. Also, your green buff cooldown starts when you kill it. So, typically I like to take it out first. That's because it allows me to get further damage on the other camps. But that's really hero dependent because it does do a lot of damage, especially in the first round. Chimera, I take the green buff first every time. That allows me to clear my wave and be out of the jungle at 2 minutes, ganking mid, keeping them from getting the river buffs. And see, they don't have any wards. They don't know you're still here. But in the higher tiers, they have a ward here. Because they know they're playing a Kalari. So you're wasting time here. You could have gone around and gotten and stole some of their jungle at this point. Jump up and get the gold buff. That was what you're supposed to do here. They're just not paying attention at all. You just got the hand on them from them not paying attention. That's all that was. That was a mistake definitely on the enemy's part. Gold buff, gold buff. Let's see if, damn it. It's inverted. It's weird. Why, Paragon? Fuck it. It's on re. Okay, so they actually got it. I don't know if you saw that they got it, but that's 300 gold, man. Take it out when you can. Okay. You got collapsed on, and between here and here is about 3 seconds that you didn't see him coming. I watch my mini-map more than I watch my lane. I mean, I know you have an escape, but now look at your mana. You gotta go back. You just lost that. It's also important that your mid call's missing. And I'll get on in a little while and play a couple games with you guys, but it's important that your mid call's missing. If he doesn't, then, I mean... I say when you're not playing with a 5-stack, you really need to pay extra attention to the mini-map. When you're playing with a 5-stack or have some kind of communication with potential ganks in your lane, then you're not going to have as much problems, as many problems. That was another example of not watching your map. I mean, overall for offlane, you're not doing bad. It's 7 minutes, and your tower is at about 30% health. That's not terrible. Your carry, however, should have already pushed this in, especially against an Iggy. You got a steel support over here. That should have been a game over. Steel has so much ability armor. That's, you got greedy there. I know he has good escape and all, but you just got real greedy right there. If you were marked right here, it'd be over. Make him hit you, man. Get in the carry's face. Make him hit you. That tower will shoot his ass.
An enemy has been slain.
See, honestly, Gideon should have seen that happening and been over there. There's no excuse for that. And you have your ult. You haven't used your ult yet. You could have ultied over there. Even if it's not for a kill, don't be afraid to use your ult to get them off the tower. That's just an example of not watching your mini-map enough. See, if they were smart, they would rotate over here and push Iggy back over here. Because Iggy can hold a lane against Wukong because of his turrets and his DOT and area of effect. Plus, the Raptors are over here, so you don't want to rotate towards your Raptors. They're dumb for not rotating. Unless they're planning on taking OP soon, these guys should be over in this lane, and Iggy should be over here. See, they don't see this at all. They didn't see this at all because you have 0 wards. And they're focused on shooting Iggy. It's like... he's dead. That steal, though. Oh my god. Full health, full mana. You see everybody on the minimap. This is the time to take this tower and even out the minion wave. Or you could have rotated to the mid and helped there. Of course, they would have seen you here, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't like the fact that your team has 0 wards.
Enemy tower destroyed.
Good execution. Too much. You're in this minion wave. Get the gold buff and get out. Oh, what the fuck? I guess that was a glitch. I don't know. It didn't look like he had any health missing, but... Ulti, he's done. Watch this. Nope, not gonna happen. Yep. You waited too late. When you saw her back, you should have known that there's a ward here, because she saw you somehow. She didn't just move back. She definitely saw you coming on the way. That's how you can tell if a ward's somewhere. It doesn't have to necessarily be in a visible location. Just know body language of how your enemies move. Like if you saw her, if I saw her going back, I'd have just turned around because I already know. But what you did was you allowed for her to back up and allow for the mid to be taken, which is a good deal. But now they're being rotated for. So they're either about to go get raptors, or they're about to try and gank the right lane. What a shot. Kalari, you should be mid right now.
Enemy tower destroyed.
This Gideon couldn't hit a fucking jungle minion with a rock. Are you guys on PC or PS4? So you're going straight push. There's nothing wrong with that. Your early game cards need some work. Yeah, it does save. Oh, he bad. He's bad. He's way too far up. You know, people argue Gideon's got good escape and stuff, but I mean, honestly, if somebody knows how to counter that and can kind of see where his outs are, then he'd have been screwed here. Just saying.
Bottle last night.
Mm-hmm.
Did you leave there?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't yet?
We did. We finished that whole fucking bottle.
My God.
Enemy tower.
At least you guys are far out of silver to where everybody's not picking ridiculous shit. You just need wards, man. I can't stress that enough. Like, that's highly important. For the fact that your support doesn't have a fucking... The fuck's going on here?
An enemy tower. Enemy tower.
Kalari, you should be looking at this ult here. You should be ultiing her.
Enemy has been slain.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, are you going to bed?
Take these. Take them.
An enemy tower is under attack.
You see this right here? That's what's important. Is the more of these you have, the more of this you have, and the more of this you have, the better you're gonna be. The harder you're gonna hit, the tankier you're gonna be. Just, it says everything in itself. Also, it leaves their team without it. Taking the jungle is important. Also, hitting the amber link when you can is too. Downtime like that, always be moving. Gold buff, gold buff, gold buff, gold buff, gold buff. Ulti left. That's what you have to do right now, Kalari. I'd be ultiing the shit out of him. Oh, there you go. But see, if you would have called that, and I don't know if you guys are on mics and communication, if you would have called that, you wouldn't have taken hardly any of that damage right there, and he would have been up there quicker. They're too far out. These guys are about to die. Has he landed an ult at all?
Enemy has been slain.
Nope, nope, nope. You're doing your job, but always remember you can actually jump up on this gold buff right here. Get there a lot quicker. Plus it's there and nobody's got it yet. Hit him twice, move. Yeah, see. There's 300 gold you're leaving right there. And in about 50 seconds, there's going to be another one there. So you just wasted, unless you get the other one, you just wasted 300 gold, potentially 600.
An enemy tower is under attack.
You can see it too, buddy.
Destroyed.
From now on, that's your, in the off lane, that's your primary goal, is protecting this. Now, of course, let's be honest, that's obviously your goal, is to keep this tower alive, but you needed to, you need to enforce this because you're eliminating them from being able to get it.
An enemy has been slain.
I think she thought she had you marked.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't know if they've changed it or not, but it used to be a Kalari can actually throw a knife and hit a ward while she's invis. I don't know if that's still the thing or not, but you can actually de-ward by yourself. And if it's not, I apologize. I've been out of the meta for about 2 weeks. So crazy how quick he clears lanes. It's not fair. Jungle. Definitely steal that. Never leave the green buff open. I think it's funny how Epic was like, it's gonna be harder to solo Prime. Says who? It's actually fucking easier. That was a good engagement, but they should have waited on their whole team. At that point, they should have just, the carry should not have been that far in. You guys capitalized on their mistake. It was 2 versus 4. Okay, what you want to do here, in order to push this lane even farther, is you want to do what's known as setting this lane. You see how far back your wave is? It's going to be a while before another wave comes in, so what you want to do is just take these and move on. Because if you just took those and moved up here and helped take this, you have 2 waves of ranged minions to come take this, and you would have had an inhib right there. That's good. You'd have had the mid inhib though, and they would have been forced to defend, leaving your left lane with enough creeps to take that tower by themselves. And you probably could have pulled off an additional couple, maybe 1 or 2 kills on that. Split pushing's always good. I mean, especially for Wukong, he's known for just being an asshole in the left lane, but this would have been down already. What does it mean? You guys still won. I'm not criticizing anything on it. I'm just saying it. Team communication and knowing how to force your waves and let your minions do damage too is important. But I'm gonna step out for just a minute.